Hey everybody, I had a few quick minutes before class started today, so I was going to make a quick video on converting rates. Now, before we start, I want to talk about that there are tons and tons of ways to do this. I'm just going to show you my specific way to solve these problems and use a little bit of Google for help. Now, if you end up using a different way to convert, that's totally fine. Okay? So, if you go to Google, and if you're not using Google Chrome, you should, okay? If you just type in here conversions, it will do a lot of them for you. For example, if I'm converting, let's say, 112 feet to miles, it'll do the conversion for me right away. And even if I wanted to do, let's say, some of the stuff we're going to be doing later, convert, let's go 400 feet per second to miles per hour. And it'll do that too. So Google's a very helpful tool for conversions in the real world. Now, assuming you're not near a computer, or you're not allowed to use a computer in our case, we are going to learn how to convert these rates ourselves. So I'm hoping that we're able to do these simple conversions on our own. For example, like 84 inches to feet. Well, we should hopefully know that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. And so the question becomes, are inches bigger than feet, or are feet bigger than inches? Well, we know that feet are bigger than inches, so this number needs to get smaller because there should be less feet than there are inches. So we take our 84 inches and we divide by 12. Oops. 84 divided by 12 gives us 7 feet. Okay. 75 feet to miles. Well, hopefully we know that there are 5,280 feet in 1 mile. Well, same question again. Do we want to get bigger or smaller? We want to get smaller. So we take that 75 divided by 5,280. Did I? Come on. Gives us about 0.014 miles. Very important to label all of your answers here. Okay, and I'd like you to do the bottom one on your own. Now, I don't know how many ounces there are in a gallon. Now, this brings up a good point. If you're using Google and it gives you a huge decimal like this for the conversion, flip it around. Convert gallons to ounces. There we go. There are 128 ounces in 1 gallon. Okay, so if you ever get that crazy decimal, just flip. So there is 128 ounces in 1 gallon. So do this one on your own. Alrighty, so we're hopefully making this smaller, so we decided to divide. With these problems, a lot of times it's going to be common sense. You're going to get an answer, and you got to just ask yourselves, does that make sense? So about 0.66 gallons. Okay? So try these 3 on your own. Okay? Before we do this real quick, though, on 2-step problems, you just do the problem twice. So like years to days or whatever, or seconds to hours, you might just have to do that process 2 times. Okay, but it should still be fine. Let's see how we do. All right, so we know that there are 7 days in a week. So this time we should multiply is 1176. Whoop, I'm being dumb here. We should divide. See, it's early. I'm stressed out. Okay. 168 divided by 7 gives us 24 weeks. There we go. 2 years to days. Well, there are 365 days. $365. We can ignore the 0.24. Okay. So 365 times 2 gives us 730 days. Now these get a little bit trickier. 320 seconds, well, we know there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. So I'm going to divide by 60. Oops. Gives us about 5.33 minutes. Now, this is important. Now that we're at minutes, we have to do the process again. So we go, there are 60 minutes in an hour. So we get 0.09 hours. Just important, always follow those labels. Alrighty? Now we're going to get a little bit more difficult. Let's see how we're doing on time here. Not fantastic, but we're going to be okay. So we have 2 problems, and I'm going to separate them. Okay, so we have miles per hour on the... Okay, so we're looking at the top. We have 75 miles per hour, and we want to convert it to feet per second. Okay, so what I want you to do is if you ever have this where there's no label on the bottom, do Ann's method and put a 1 there. So it's 75 miles per 1 hour, and I want you to break them up into 2 problems. So you have 75 miles over here to feet, and over here you have 1 hour to seconds. Okay? Well, we know 75 miles to feet, that means we have to multiply by 5,280. And this one we have to change hours to minutes. So we take 1 hour times 60 to get to minutes. That's 60 minutes. Times 60 is 3,600 seconds. So we got that there. And we got this massive number over here. Gives us 39600. Okay. 1 more 0. Okay. So now we have, whoops, feet over seconds. So we do 396,000 over 3600 feet per second. And so now all we do is we have to convert this into a fraction. Okay, well, we could divide by 100 on both, or we can just do this. Well, just 110. So that means that we have 110 feet per 1 second. Or you can just do it 110 feet per second. Same thing. Okay, so just convert them each individually is the lesson here. Now on the bottom, we have $5 per hour to something dollars per minute. Okay, well, we want the $5 is going to stay. So we're good there. So we have to convert 1 hour to minutes. Well, that's 60 minutes. So now we have 5 over 60, and we simplify down because we can divide by 5 and 5. 1 divided by 12, and we just label $1 in every 12 minutes. If you wanted to simplify that even farther, you would need a calculator. Gives us 0.83, or about 8 cents per 1 minute. Okay, either way is fine. I'd probably prefer the top, but if you want to use the bottom, it's fine. The idea is just convert both individually. All right, try these 2 on your own. Okay, we're going to move a little quicker here. So there are 100 centimeters in a meter, so you should have gotten 60,000, and changing 1 minute to seconds is 60. So it gives us 1,000. centimeters per second. And on the bottom, you needed to figure out how many pounds are in an ounce, and I have no idea. Flip it. I guess we're going to have to use a website here. So I just want 1 ounce to pounds is about 0.0625. Okay. So 1 ounce equals 0.0625 pounds. Okay, that means that we want to, let me think real quick. Yep, that's what I thought. It's a little tricky, but the idea here is we want the number to get bigger. So we're actually going to divide because it's a decimal, 50 divided by 0.0625. But a lot of times you just look at the answer and see if it makes sense. So 800 ounces over 60 seconds. And we just simplify. Oops. Gives us about 13.33 ounces per second. All right, here's 2 more questions. Bring them to me in class. Thank you.